Alright, so now it's time for us to export our game. So we go to File and then Export Project. Then we go to Cordova. And then you can just save your exported files to anywhere. I'm just going to save it to the desktop so that way I can make it easier for me to find the files. And we just set our PNG recompression to none, and then we want to have minify script unchecked. Then we hit next, and we want to make sure that use new Intel XDK format is unchecked, and then we hit export. Alright, so now we open the destination folder, and you can see that Construct 2 has exported all of our files needed. So we need to edit this config file, and to do this we just right click on config, and then I recommend that you download Notepad++. I will include a link to the download for Notepad++. I use that to normally edit config files and other various things that's dealing with code instead of using the regular Notepad. And so now we need to add 3 things to this config file. Alright, so I included a file called code snippets to add to config file under this lecture's resources. These are the 3 lines of code that you need to add to your config file. So let's go ahead and do that. Copy, and we can just put that here, press enter, select our second line of code here, Control V, and now for this last line of code we need to add this before our ID. So we just copy on this, and normally our ID is at the beginning of our config, as you can see here. And so what we do is put our mouse cursor here, Control V, and then press space, and then we can go ahead and save our config file as this is done. So after we update our config file, we can go ahead and select all our files, and then we can create a zip file. You could do send to and then compress folder. And then we can rename this to Hunger Croc. After we zip our project up, we will go to build.phonegap.com. This is the solution that we will use to build our Android app. So Adobe gives you one free private app for you to upload to you for their build solution. If you want to submit more apps in the future, they do have a subscription plan starting at $10 a month. But for right now, for this purpose, we're going to use the free plan, which is all you need. So go ahead and register and make an account. You will come across the screen after you log in. We want to make sure that private tab is selected, and then we want to go ahead and upload our zip file that we made earlier. Alright, it's going to upload our file here. And then as you can see here, our file is uploaded of our game. And then we can go ahead and start building. So it's going to build not only the Android, but also going to build the iOS and the Windows build. But we don't, for this project, we're not going to need those two. We're just only going to need the Android, which is still building right now. Alright, so PhoneGap has finished building our Android app needed, so we can just click on Hunger Crop Frenzy, and as you can see here it says no key selected, so we need to add a key, and we can just name the title to anything, and we can name our alias to anything, but just be sure that you remember the alias because we're going to get ready to make our keystore file. There's 3 tools needed to make our keystore file, and that's Java JDK 8, Java JRE, and the APK signer. So you can just download and install these two here. They're pretty much straightforward. And for after you install these two Java files, you can go ahead and open up the APK signer, which looks like this. So briefly, I'm going to explain this screen here. For the JDK path, you need to set it to this here, unless you changed your installation path when you first installed JDK. But this is the default path file that you need to point to when you click on choose, and just click ban. Alright, so now for our key generator, we need to set a password. It needs to be at least 6 characters. You can set it to anything you like, and you need to confirm it in this box here. And for the alias, we need to put the same alias that you used when I told you earlier about the PhoneGap build. You need to set it to the same thing in this screen here too, and then you put an alias password. It needs to be at least 6 characters, and you can just leave this here to default, and then you can put your first and last name. This doesn't really matter here, so you can just put NA. Organization is basically your company, and you put the city, state, and US, and then here you want to click on that, and then you want to save your key store as anything that you want here. I already made one earlier, so just click save. Yeah, I want to replace it, and then you just click on generate key file, and that's how you make your key file. So now we can just go back here, and then we choose our key store file. I have mine saved on the desktop, and we just click on submit key here. Now you'll probably get an error message that says that the key we just uploaded was locked, and we can fix that by clicking here, and it's going to take us to our account details, and we can just click on signing keys, and then we can just click this little lock right here to unlock it, and then we put in our password, and click on submit key, and now it's unlocked. So now we can just go back to our apps and click on Hunger Crop Frenzy, and we can rebuild. So now when the error is corrected, you can now download an APK that you can install on your phone, and you can test the game out, and after you finish testing, you can go ahead and submit your game to the Play Store.